Hi everybody, welcome to my studio annex here in Houston, Texas. Before I turn the camera around, I just wanted to say hello. It's been a while since I filmed in here, and just share with you that I have found the art tribe with Louise Fletcher and joined. I needed something to kind of get me out of my funk that I've been in artistically and personally, and I think this is just the right thing. So she's encouraging us to do some play and to work in our sketchbooks. And I took a little break from my art, and where I left off, I'm not ready to pick up the pieces of doing big paintings right now. So without a lot of explanation, I'm just going to share with you what's on my art table today and see what happens. I call it unexpected mixed media. It's really just play, and I know a lot of people right now are feeling anxious, and there's all kinds of confusion going on and emotions surfacing. So right now for me to be in my studio and to work with paint and express myself is very therapeutic. So I'm here to share with you my art process and give you some encouragement to play yourself and not worry about outcomes. Just let the process develop, let the colors show up, and let the shapes show up, and see how your work progresses. Don't try to make any pretty pictures yet. Okay, so here I go. I'm just gonna turn the camera around and play around. So here we go. So what I have here is the Dilutions Dialogue Journal. It's got some fantastic black paper, and I've already filled up some of the pages. And what I am creating are the backgrounds that I want to use later when I add collage elements on top of it. So prior to starting the video, I played around with a limited color palette and a few simple art supplies. So what I have on my table is a bottle of golden acrylic white, titanium white, golden fluid acrylic. It's almost out, so I'm ready to use that up. I like to use Dilutions paint. It dries quickly for journal pages, so I only ordered four bottles rather than go crazy and order a bunch of colors, because if you have a blue and a magenta and a yellow, you can mix all the colors you need. And I have another kind of neutral color, which is a balmy night. It's one of my favorite items to work with now, and it's got like a grayish, bluish gray sky color. So I've been mixing the colors together. Let me get the light out of here. There's a glare there. That helps. And just working with backgrounds, stencils. So let's begin a page together where I left off. And I'm going to stick with the limited palette of just the balmy night color, and I'll pick some blue, and let's see, it's called Blue Hawaiian, and this is called Funky Fuchsia. So when I mix those colors together, I'll get some purples too. So before I start, I'm going to make some marks with the white acrylic, and I don't have a plan. I'm just going to dip a skewer, a wooden skewer that I have, and make some marks on the paper. And I'm working on black paper. That's something I wanted to explore, and I do like the way the paper in this book takes paint and supplies. Here's a cool thing I like to do is I dip the wooden skewer in the paint, and then I roll it onto the paper, so it makes a really interesting texture and blobby colors. It's also blending some of those other colors that I have. So I'm starting to get a little messy, which is fine. I may cover some of this up with another color, I may not. So this will just be the first layer. Okay, a little white paint on the black pages. And I've got my other colors ready to go. I'm going to take a break here and then start another video. So I've mixed some of the balmy night color onto my surface, and I'm using a color blender, a Ranger Tim Holtz color blender. So when I mix the paints, I'll get like these circles that I can press onto the page and leave an imprint. So I don't want to go too crazy with the circles, and just added some extra layer, another second layer on top of the white. Now I have also this small jelly plate, which I'm going to use. I'm going to roll out some of the blue that I have onto the jelly plate. And I'm not even going to clean the roller. I'm just going to grab some of the fuchsia, and I'm going to do some mixing right on the plate. So I have no idea how much color or blending is going to happen. And just press it into the paper. So not a lot of the blue showed up, so I'm going to add some blue, and I'm going to put this time, because I want the colors to get blended, I'm going to put, there we go, put the paint right on the jelly plate. Roll on the jelly plate, and now I'm going to press into the black paper that has a little bit of white markings on it already. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's what I like. So just to keep the design going across the page, I'm going to go over the circles over here and finish off this edge and clean off the jelly plate. So that's another technique that I like to try, is working with the jelly plate and putting areas of color down into the background. Also, I like stencils, so I ordered some more stencils, and I actually have some old stencils from engineering stencils and interior design stencils. So anything that has shapes, cutout shapes, are good to use. So I'm going to stencil the rest of the image, or the rest of the background, with some images. I have a sponge brush here that I'm going to scoop up the paint with, and then I'm going to do some stenciling with that. So since I've got these circles going on here, I have circles in the stencil, I'm going to play with that idea. I'm really liking that blue color, so let me go back to spreading some more of that blue onto the page. And putting the stencil down, sort of overlapping some of the previous layers, and see what we get. It's always a surprise. You never know what's going to turn up. Might not be easy to see, but there's some blue showing, which I really like the lightness of it. I'm going to put some of that on top of the white and see how much shows up there. Okay, there we go. So I think that page is busy enough. I'm actually going to turn this upside down and finish off the second page. I'm going to work upside down or right side up at this point. So what I'm thinking it needs is maybe a little, I like all this white going on here, so I might need some more white happening. Go back to that technique that I invented, where I use a wooden skewer, fill it with paint, and roll it onto the paper. How did I invent this? I don't know. It was a mistake at some point. I think I was cleaning off the stick and I thought this is a great idea. So let me know if you try it and it works out for you. Okay, yeah, I needed that white down there, I think, or in that area. And this will take a little bit longer to dry because it's the acrylic fluid. So I'm not going to stencil on top of that yet. I'll wait for it to dry, or I'll leave it alone. The other thing I like to do is use the stencils and trace outlines or patterns and things like that. So just to kind of balance off the page a little bit here. Got a stencil and I've got a Uniball jelly pen. And it's what I have, so I'm going to use it. And I'm just going to trace around the shapes. Put a little bit of design graphic over there. Okay, kind of balances out all those other circles and brings in the white. So this is my background. I don't want to go too crazy on it because I am going to collage on top of it later. And these are some of the other backgrounds that I've been playing with. And using the same materials, stencils, jelly plate, delusions, and what I'm going to do is collage on top with some lettering and some magazine pictures. So I'm going to finish off right now and hope you enjoyed my video.